Ooh, 2 people are watching. So at least one person besides me. Good morning. How are you all this morning? We're going to get started, but I'm going to light some incense while we're waiting for folks to join. Good morning. Somebody else is here. Good morning. Good morning. Put that off to the side. Okay. How are you all today? Oh, now there's only one person watching. So I'm watching myself. Nobody else is here because I'm so popular. Oh, got 3 people back again. Yay. Good morning. Good morning. I'm a little early. I'm here with just myself or very few people because I only announced it to the people over on Patreon to start with. And then later we will have the folks from Facebook joining. Hey, Petra. Hey, Nell. Good morning. Right now, it's like really exciting and riveting. I'm tearing mixed media paper apart. We're going to do some little paintings today, and we're going to do a bonus page in the December daily. Good evening, Petra. You know, sometimes you just want to just rip paper, you know? I tend to not be that person who's about perfection anyway in my art and crafting life, especially because I feel like, hey, Patricia, I always feel like if I can't do it absolutely perfect, then I'm tempted to not want to do it at all. So why bother? So I learned a long time ago to just go with the imperfections and be okay with that. And I find I love it more and more. If I want perfection in something, I'll take a picture. And even then it's kind of, you know, a toss up whether I actually get perfection or not, because I'm not that super great with the camera. So I'm ripping apart some mixed media paper because I want to do a few little paintings. And I want kind of the raw edge, especially because I'm thinking I might want to use one of these in the December daily. And I've got my Himi gouache out here next to me, just off. Well, I guess they're on camera. You can just kind of see the edge of the box. So how has everybody in? How are you dealing with the worldwide crazy situation we all find ourselves in? Is everybody managing all right? I want to check in with you all. First of all, we're going to start doing that, making sure you're all good and that despite the stress that we're all under. Okay, hang on. My camera is just being a pain today. There we go. So despite the stress that we're all under, that you're all handling it okay, and then that you're working through the stress in a healthy way, not eating too much chocolate, although I'm guilty of that. Yeah, so, I mean, if you're about perfection and doing realism in your art, more power to you if you have the patience for that. And if that's what really makes you happy, doesn't make me happy. So I learned a long time ago to just not go there. I tend to really like and follow along with artists like Pauline Agnew, who do sort of abstract impressionist style of art. And that is really my thing. Hang on one second, you guys. My camera is being a pill today, so hold on one second. Because I'm going to unplug and replug. Hold on. Which is going to freak everybody out. Sorry. Because, of course, I wouldn't go live and my camera would be, like, annoying. Oh, there we are. See, hello. That's not the camera I want. I mean, you know, it's nice to see my face and all, but let's try this one. There we go. Okay, let's try that, shall we? You know, what did Bob Ross call them? Happy accidents. So the first thing I'm going to do with these little pieces of paper is I'm going to tape off a center section so we have a white border. This is just plain old painter's tape. Good morning, Bronwyn. So this is plain old painter's tape, nothing special. This happens to be the 3M brand, but I mean, whatever you have, washi tape will work. I'm not measuring anything. We just said I'm not about perfection. Okay, so in case you don't follow me on social media, design features. I like that, Petra. That's a good one. Okay, so in case you don't follow me on social media, then you would not have any idea that I take sky pictures all the time, like all the time. What did I do? Oh, there it is. I need my water. And so I want to do, I'm really inspired right now, and it may become a series of canvas paintings.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Siri, I am not talking to you. Holy cow, did y'all hear that? Siri's like talking to us. We're just having a heck of a time this morning. Holy cow, you guys. Okay, let's see. So I take sky pictures all the time. There's like a billion of them in my phone here. I'm going to like pick one. I'm going to just pick one. Let's see. Maybe that one. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more because I just feel like that's still too far away. And there's glare on my phone, so I'm not sure you're going to be able to see the picture super well. I'm going to tell my phone not to turn off. Hold on. Design it brightness, auto lock, never. Okay, so can you see that? I don't know if you can. The glare is just, I don't think you can see that. Maybe that way. There you go. Can you see that? Sorry, guys. I will try to put a copy of some of the sky pictures that I'm inspired by right now into the Facebook groups, My Creative Year and A Life of Art and Self-Expression. But I want to paint a few little sky paintings. And at some point, I think it is going to turn into canvas paintings. But right now, just looking at the sky and the sunset is sort of a peaceful pastime for me. I need a little mixing plate. Hold on. Because I'm just so prepared today. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to get a little tiny one. All right. Now maybe we're ready. I'm going to take a little bit of the sort of periwinkle color, which is sort of a purpley blue. And I'm going to mix a little bit of another blue in with it. I've had these Hemi gouache open for more than a month, and they are still juicy and wet. Yeah, that's a good color. Oh, that's a good color. Okay, so we're going to start out with that on the top. It's darker than the inspiration photo, but that's okay. I'm going to rinse off most of the paint off the brush and then just come in with some water. And sort of drag it down. Perfect. Okay, what we're going to want to do before we go into it with other colors is to dry this. Whether you're working with acrylic or watercolor, you want to dry in between, because if you don't, you're going to just get mud. And I'm bringing that all the way to the edge of the tape. There we go. We don't want mud. Now, if you're working with a water-soluble paint, even though you dried in between, it's still going to reactivate that first layer a little bit, but you're less likely to have too much mud than if you don't dry it. Stand up and reach. Let's see. Okay. So now we're going to just give it a quick dry. Now these Hemi gouache, they dry pretty fast. So it's not usually an issue. Now I'm going to take some of the oranges. I think I'm going to use this one. And one of the things about sky paintings that are fun is, you know, they're abstract by nature, so you don't have to worry about trying to copy something exactly. Now I want to add some purple because there were some purpley gray colors in the sky, but what I need to do first is dry this, or that orange is going to mix with that purple and it's going to look icky. we're going to take some of one of our purples. I have a few choices. I think I'm going to take this one. Mix it with a little bit of the lighter pastel one. And dab, 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 dab. Good morning, Kathy. So I'm just dabbing. Now I went back in with just some water. And you can also like do this. I'm going to grab some white. And just the nice thing about gouache is it's pretty opaque and nice and flat. So if you did want to draw over it, then it draws over very easily. If you want to put it in your journal, it's not going to be sticky. You also can layer it like you can acrylic paint. So all of those things are great. Yes. We're just doing a little sort of abstract sky right now, especially if you're in the Pacific Northwest. You know, this is like the time of year where we have these brightly colored, almost rainbow sunsets. Just streaks in the sky of color. I'll switch to a little round brush. I didn't dry that purple, so I've got to be careful because if I'm not, then we're going to end up with mud on here. And mud is not a good thing when you're talking about painting the sky. I do think, again, at some point, I think I'm going to end up doing a series of sky paintings because it just seems to be appealing to my muse, and I've got a bunch of canvases out here in the art room off camera lined up. I think it's going to be a thing. What's obsessing you guys right now? What are you obsessing about and working through the stress of things by doing? Yes, Kathy, you know, some days it feels like 4 o'clock and it's pitch black outside. For those that don't know, Kathy also lives in Oregon. She lives in a different part of the state than I do, but she also lives in Oregon. Yep, sewing. You know, those things that I can do, like painting skies, and I don't have to. That's not that I don't have to think, that I have to think about and I have to sort of focus on, or I can do while chatting with you all, and I can let all that other stuff go. Those are really helpful. Okay, let's dry that. Okay, I'm going to take a filbert brush. Am I going to do it with a filbert? This is a big filbert. Maybe I'll stick with that round brush. It's not like I don't have another brush. Hold on. Can you hear me now? You know, we're having just issues today. The equipment just doesn't want me to go live. So I took some Prussian blue and mixed it with black. If the sound goes off again, let me know. I'm having issues like with the sound not working and the camera not working. Okay, good. So Kathy, I was saying to you, big hugs, because I think most of us more often than not are having issue feeling overwhelmed. I think that's more common right now than it's not common. And, you know, it's just, we're all feeling that way. And as a community, I think we can just help everybody get through, hopefully. So I'm just dabbing the end of this sort of rounded filbert brush here in some of this paint to represent the treetops that are in my picture. It's just so easy right now to be overwhelmed. Like, it's just so easy. There's just so much and so much stupidity, and I don't know about you guys, but my head is hurting from getting hit on the stone wall constantly. So then I'm going to take the little round one. No worries. I had my 2 cups, but you know, I feel like I need more coffee. All right, so I just dabbed on some hinted tree shapes. So I'm going to take my round brush. I'm going to barely touch it to the paper, and we're going to just put some trunks in. And then we'll go back with that filbert. Actually, no, you know what? We're going to stick with the round one. Oh, I'm so sorry, Petra. Yeah, you know, it's just so hard right now. We just found out last night that a friend of ours' dad died. He didn't die of COVID, but, you know, still, it's just terrible. My mother-in-law, for those that don't know, came down with COVID. She's 92. She seemed to thankfully get a mild case. So she seems to be doing okay, but she's having complications now with her hearing. Which we aren't sure if that's a COVID thing or not. We don't know. I'm feeling like, although it's not in the picture, I want to put a little bit like of a dark greeny color in here. So I'm going to add some green. See, this is what I love about our community, Petra. One of us has something like this happen and the rest are all there, if only to give you some emotional support. I love that, you guys. That's what we should be more about. So you're not going to probably be able to pick this up on camera, but it's just, I created just sort of a dark black green color and just kind of dabbing that on the trees. I don't know that you're going to get that on camera. So I like that. Let's give it a dry. They are starting to give out the vaccine in the United Kingdom, which low-key may make me want to move. I'll be honest. Okay, so we're going to take the tape off. Try to take the tape off. There we go. Then we have this little painting. I'm going to do this. And of course, sign the bottom. So one of the things I'm going to be doing today is a bunch of these little paintings. Thank you. But this one is done. So we can temporarily, I can put this back on here. Let's get out the December daily. So sky paintings are not hard, you guys. We just did that in the space of a few minutes. Just go outside. The best times are sunrise or sunset, and get interesting pictures of the sky where you live. I don't even know, like, are you going to even be able to see that? There we go. If I tilt my camera like that, you can see it. Again, I'll post some of these to the 2 Facebook groups. But this is the sun as it's going down, peeking over the neighbor behind me's roof. I have one. This one's cool. This is another sunset picture. So the paint is the Hemi gouache paint, but you totally could do this with acrylic paint, Lisa, or with watercolor for that matter. But the gouache is more opaque. So when you're going to be doing this kind of layering, I think it layers a little better. Plus, it dries very flat and matte than a regular acrylic paint. So if you're going to put it in a journal like I'm going to, then it's not going to be sticky or stick to anything. No worries. This is a Hemi gouache, one of those big jelly gouache sets from Amazon. Here's another one. This one's cool. Oh, that's weird, Kathy. Well, I have plenty I can share with you guys because I take them all the time. I mean, like literally, I have a set of sticker flakes that are sunsets and sky pictures because, you know, that's the thing I do. Here's one that's just of the sun in the sky. Like, I don't even know if you guys can see that. I don't even know if you can. Yeah, I don't even know if that one's going to show up on camera. Some of them just don't show up. Whether it's cloudy skies or sunsets or, you know, calm trails. Yeah, because I do take pictures of those too. Anyway. Yeah, see. So we're going to take this. I'll post a bunch of sky pictures to the 2 Facebook groups, and then you guys can use them if you want for some of your art. So this is the December daily that I've been working in, and I am pre-filming a bunch of the episodes. So just because 31 videos is a lot of videos, and to have to do one every day is crazy. So I'm filming them ahead, but my thought was during the month we could do bonus pages if you all wanted. So I've already pre-marked where I need to go for that, which is here. And I want to use this on the page that we just painted. And you're welcome. I have a bunch of them, and I like literally, like I said, there are like I have a set of sky sticker flakes because, you know, I'm just fascinated. And right now, you know, looking up at the sky and the moon and the sun is a more peaceful pastime than other things we could be doing, and just getting out for a walk, which I didn't do yesterday. So I'm missing. So I might do 2 walks today. Okay, first, we're going to, as you've been seeing me, if you've been watching the December daily videos, we're going to pick a card. Now, as I'm shuffling cards and mixing them up, if you haven't seen the December daily videos, there is a playlist. All of the videos will be on the playlist as they come live, from start to finish. I always start with picking a card. So my idea for the December daily is to focus on the positive, try to bring in the good and the light. What do I need to focus on? What does the universe need to tell me that I need to bring more into myself and my life? Because there's a lot of darkness out there right now, and not that we should ignore it. We should be aware of what's going on, but we need to also remember that even in the darkest of darks, there are still some light. So I have these positive affirmation cards. It's a download on my Etsy shop. And if you are a patron over on Patreon, then you have a free copy of a file. So we always start out by picking a card. So let's pick a card. Enlightened. Now, how funny is that? Enlightened, and we have a sky with interesting light features. Enlightened. That's funny. So I always put the cards I've used in here so that I don't pick it twice, which is funny. You'll see in an upcoming video, there is evidently was a word in there twice. Then we are going to find the same word in the sticker pack that I made. You can do your December daily however you want. For me, this just helped me focus on something positive, to be honest. And I don't necessarily usually do Christmas crafts or Christmas things like this. I don't do Vlogmas, not because I don't like it, but because I did a lot of Christmas craft shows, and Christmas crafts just were not my thing. I gave away all my Christmas paper and everything a while back, and so I actually had to go buy some new pieces and parts for this. But I thought this year, given the year that it is, that we all could use something new, something different. And if you were going to do a December daily, rather than focusing on all of the things you couldn't do, like seeing your family, and Kathy, I see your comment, I'll address that in a minute, like seeing your family and doing the traveling that you normally do and all of those things, and being depressed about all the stuff you can't do, why don't we focus on what we can do, on what we can bring into our lives, and how we can work through everything that's going on? That was my thought behind this process. Kathy, you are the sweetest thing in the universe, and thank you so much. Big virtual hugs to you. I look forward to the day when I can meet some of y'all in person and actually give you a hug. Okay, so the next thing I always do is pull the date, but in this case, we don't have a date because it's a bonus video, so I'm going to pull a label and grab a pen. You're welcome. And I'm going to keep doing Tuesdays. You know, if I can, the only times I missed were when I was having dental issues. And I had one day I forgot, and none of y'all reminded me. Like, seriously, somebody needs to like message me at like 9:30 or something and remind me I have live on Tuesday. I only forgot once, but still I felt so bad. Okay, so we're going to write bonus page And I'm going to put the date. Today's the 8th. Yeah, date 12/8. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not, again, let me reiterate, I'm not saying ignore what's going on in the world, because it's a shit show. Let's be honest. We can't ignore it. That's not healthy. But that doesn't mean that we need to only see that. We need to see that there is a bright spot in the darkness. For instance, for me, I don't know about you guys, but not being able to go out as much and have as many things to do, shopping, for instance, has made me craft with what I have. It's made me dig out my hand sewing and embroidery that I haven't touched in literally decades. It's made me get out things from my grandmother that I've had forever and work with those. It's made me reconnect via Zoom, granted, and snail mail with people that I kind of wasn't keeping in super great contact with. I haven't written an actual letter, a pen pal type letter to anybody in decades until this whole thing started. Those aren't bad things. Those are good things. My husband and I are spending a lot more time together. And, if he and I are joking about it, we say that's not necessarily a good thing, but no, it really is a good thing. We enjoy just going on, the occasional drive and all of those things. So, there's always good things. So the next thing I do, if you've watched my videos, is I kind of lay out the page and figure out what I want to see on the page. We need to get the to-do list, because that's, we're going to do a to-do list, but it's not a traditional to-do list. It's more of a to-do list like breathe, be present, that sort of thing. I don't know what today's list needs to stay. I'm going to need a piece of paper at some point. And I'm just kind of looking through my stack of stuff over here off camera. Of course, we might want some snowflakes because, I don't know what the deal is with the snowflakes. The dark blue ones might work on this page, actually. One thing that we haven't had yet this year that I'm kind of expecting, Kathy, you'll laugh. I'm kind of half expecting, because it's 2020 and I live in a much colder climate than where I grew up in California, that this year, instead of 2 to 3 inches of snow, which is the average where I live in Oregon, we're going to get like 12 inches. Because, it's 2020, so why not? So I'm going to get out some snowflakes. These are a Thinlits die, Sizzix Thinlits Tim Holtz die. So I think that'll work. I think I just want a little piece of paper. A little piece of paper. I'm looking for a piece of paper. Let's see. Sometimes finding that right piece of paper is like the hardest part. Maybe that one. Okay. I think we've got enough stuff out. We need a glue stick. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out this upper corner. Again, I have this thing for just tearing papers. I don't know. I know, Kathy, but it's 2020. I'm just, where I live in Oregon, the average is, 2 to 3 inches, but, it's 2020. I hope it doesn't happen, but if it does, I won't be surprised. Okay, I like where this is going. And I'm just going to follow my instincts. The point is not to think about it too much. And I'm just using a glue stick. This is a Yoo-Hoo glue stick, but you could use Elmer's Extreme. Yeah, I bet, Kathy. I think that's a smart move. And Petra, yeah, where I live in Oregon, we mostly just get a lot of rain. I don't live high enough in altitude to get a ton of snow. But that being said, it does happen. I live in one of the Portland suburbs, just FYI for those that don't know. Okay, that is good. I like that. So I want to peek some snowflakes out from behind that painting. So let's put one here. Let's put one up here somewhere. I think Petra's in Germany. Which I love. And I was trying to talk the husband into going back this year. But, you know, then the COVID happened. Yeah, it happens, Petra. I mean, no matter, you know, where you live, even in California, you know, where I lived in California, where I grew up, Santa Clara County, never got snow. It wasn't known for snow. It wasn't even known for a lot of rain. But 2 times in my life growing up, we got snow. We didn't get a ton of it, but it did happen and freaked everybody out. So to glue the mixed media paper on, I'm actually going to get out some tacky glue because this is heavier weight paper. I want to make sure it sticks down. My husband's family lives up near Hamburg. Yeah, it's 2020, Kathy. So, you know, like nothing is going to surprise me anymore. Yet now that's how California is, like the whole state. Like unless you live in Lake Tahoe, if it snows, like everything shuts down because they don't even, where I grew up, they didn't even own a snow plow. So the couple times I knew of that it snowed, until the snow melted, it shut everything down. That being said, we didn't get a ton of snow, so it didn't, you know, last too long, but still. And people in California, they don't know how to drive in the rain, much less the snow. I can make fun of them because I'm from there. Okay, I like where that's going so far. Yeah, I love Lake Tahoe. Okay, so I like where that's going so far. We need to add our to-do list, which I think I'm going to put right here. We're going to think about what we would want positive affirmation wise on our to-do list, inspired by the word for the page, which is enlightened, which we're going to add to the page. And I don't always cut it down smaller, but I think I'm going to this time. I love this right here on this page. And it's not always about like doing artwork on the page. Maybe you don't paint or draw and that's just totally not your thing. And I need to put these on to peel the paper off because I can't see what I'm doing. It can just be about layering pieces of paper and doing writing. No, so fun fact, I've never driven in the snow. Schmetz needles. Ooh, my favorite kind of sewing needles, Petra. Okay. So we have this. So while we're thinking about what should go here, positive affirmation wise, the next thing I'm going to do is take my phone and I'm going to go to my browser. They're the best needles. And I'm going to type in the word enlightened and then quote. Oops. Okay, if I could, with my fat fingers, spell that correctly, would be helpful. And then usually I go to Goodreads or Brainy Quote. Yeah, I don't know how to drive in the snow, and I tend to like not drive if it's snowing or icy. I either order things in if we need something or I have somebody else do it for me. Hey, Marion. Good morning. Okay, so then it's just a matter of finding a quote I want. Now, I will be honest with you guys, the last couple of days, the quotes are politically oriented, and I'm having trouble with that because every time I do a Google search for quotes, it's very politically oriented, which I'm not about that. I also have a favorite app called Zero Quotes that I use at night often. But the other day I was looking at the quotes on Zero Quotes and a quote from Adolf Hitler came up, which I'm also not okay with. So yeah, so just be cautious about where you're looking for your quotes. So we want something that's positive. Oh, here's a good one right away. He who knows others is wise. He who knows himself is enlightened. Lao Tzu. That's a good one. Okay. So we're going to write that over here. Petra, I would be in such big trouble. And just FYI, I am not a skinny girl. And not in the slightest. I'm trying to be healthy, but thin is not. If thin happens, cool. If it doesn't, cool, as long as I'm healthy. Right now, we've got a whole Stollen in the fridge. I'll catch up with the chat in a minute. I can see it scrolling. Hold on. I almost spelled that wrong. I'll go back and dot all my I's once I get it written. Now, if you're worried about doing journaling or a quote on your page and you're worried about messing it up or misspelling something, just get out a piece of lined paper and write it on there and then glue the paper in. Or print it on the computer. That works too. Their truffles are very good. So right away for the to-do list, and we're not done by any stretch, but I'm getting some ideas about what to say over here. So learn, grow, did I say today I can't spell? Because, you know, that's a thing. Be, listen. Something I am sometimes guilty of not doing. Learn, grow, be, listen. One more. Oh, notice. And then check them all off. Okay. Now, before I call this page done, I want to do some journaling or writing inspired by, actually, I already have a piece of paper right here, inspired by the quote and what's on the page. On a piece of lined paper. This is just a memo book. It's just lined. It's just plain old office supply. When I click on the pic in my email, you get the stream but no chat. You mean Marion from over in Patreon? That's interesting. Because it should just take you here to with the chat and everything. That's kind of weird. That's strange. Okay, so hopefully if you're doing a page like this, as you were doing it and as you were writing the quote and you were writing your to-do list and you're thinking about the word, you're thinking about something personal that you want to say, your thoughts about the page, which I wasn't really doing because I'm talking to you all. So that's weird. That's good to know, Marion. So I can make note of that the next time I make a post about the live, because I do let those in Patreon know first that I'm going live. I try to go in like 5 or 10 minutes early and let you guys know first. But that won't really help if you can't get the chat. I think most of you, I have you in a Facebook message group. So maybe I'll start posting it there instead and just put a note over in Patreon that the message group has the link. Maybe that'll work. Okay. I already messed it up. See, that's what you write on a piece of notepaper. I think that was like $1 at Fred Meyer or something. Try that again. So once I wrote something that I like, then I will glue that on. Nice. Okay, then I'll look and see, because it's me, you know, does it need more snowflakes? Yes. Because, you know, doesn't everything need more snowflakes? Now, for those that don't know, before you ask, this is a Moleskine Cahier. I like working with these because I like the thinner paper. I'm not concerned about the paper being too thin. Also, the pages in the back are perforated. So if you are like me and you just want to use one journal for a month and then put it away and start a new one, you can take out any pages that are blank in the back along the perforation without the journal falling apart, which is handy. Now I tend to use glue stick. I do have Xyron machine. I've got a big one and a little one. I'm probably purging the big one. They drive me crazy. I'll keep the little one, but I just find it's easier to put these snowflakes on with just a glue stick than it is to like drag out that stupid machine. Oh, that wasn't even glued on. I forgot one. Football field of chocolate. I know, it's a nice image, right? I used to love when we would have in school, we would have field trips to, I lived in an area of California where we had lots of canneries and stuff still. That was always a lot of fun. Put that one back. So just like that, and you have your December daily page. I love chocolate, dark chocolate. So then we would put this word in our dish of words we've used up already. And there we go. Thank you. So, you know, it doesn't have to be complicated, and I'll give you guys like a sneak peek. So this is what I've done so far. Oh, I love dark chocolate. The darker, the better. It's my favorite. It's my kryptonite. Dark chocolate and dark beer. Preferably not together, but still. So this is today's page. And this piece of cardboard, this tip-in, is a piece of a tissue box. So you ready? You guys aren't going to tell anybody when I show you the next pages, are you? You're going to keep it a secret between you and me? I'm smiling. You can't see me. There's tomorrow's page. Sometimes I do a painting. Sometimes I don't. The snowflakes are great. Yeah. Thanks, Kathy. So the snowflakes, right away, I knew if I wanted to do this and I was going to do this and I was going to add a few Christmassy, wintry bits to my stash, they were going to be more winter themed than Christmas themed. First of all, they'll get more use going forward. But snowflakes were one of the things. I mean, and in my creative year, we're focusing on cool colors, cool color palettes. So I knew that obviously not on this page, but the majority of the pages, I wanted to use a cooler tone of colors. So I made all my snowflakes like winter colors, blue, white. So these are some of the pages that are coming up. You'll see me working on soon. Thank you, Petra. Some of these are sticker flakes I created out of an artwork from an Etsy seller that I found recently. And I bought a couple of her downloads and made a bunch of sort of winter themed sticker flakes, which include deer images, because I do live next to the woods and deer come across my property all the time. I love them. And I wanted some winter themed images. Now I had some images like these polar bears, which were from a sheet of cutouts I bought from Simon Says Stamps from, I think, a German designer. And they're real cute and all, but there was just only a few of them, and they were much smaller than I anticipated. So I like them, but they were kind of expensive for what they turned out to be. So I thought, well, I should probably just see if I can create my own sticker flakes. And, we'll talk about that in a second, Marion. So I thought I could paint some images, and then I thought, why am I going to paint images? Probably somebody's already done the images I want, probably better than I can. And I would like to give another Etsy seller a promotion. So I found this store called OPIA Design Studios. And she has a couple of different sets of images with deer and Christmas trees and sort of winter themed things that I purchased. And then I created sticker flakes out of them. Yeah, Deer Grove Lane. So I shouldn't probably say that on camera, but yeah, there's a lot of deer themed streets in Oregon. We feed them too, although it's been mentioned on my YouTube channel recently that I shouldn't be feeding them. But we do. So, the poor babies look hungry, especially this time of year. Like they're just looking for food. And we feed them and the squirrels, if we have leftover bits of bread, or the other day, my husband had some leftover homemade gluten-free pancakes because we had somebody over for breakfast that can't eat gluten. My husband didn't like the taste of the pancakes, so we took them outside, and, mostly the squirrels eat that kind of thing. But, we have, like you said, apples, some, dry corn feed, and different things. I was Googling the other day, what kind of plants could I plant that would be okay for them to eat? And all I found was plants that would discourage them from coming. I want to encourage them to come, not discourage them. So I must be weird. Hey, no worries. Hope your blood test came out okay. You can go back and watch. So I love this page. I'm going to leave it open because that glue stick's got to dry, but I do have the rest of these to do. So let's do another one. So I'm going to do more little sky paintings, little watercolor paintings. I have glue all over my fingertips. Glue boogers on my fingertips. Okay. But yeah, we have lots of wildlife because we are next to 25 feet of woods. And it's preserved wildlife and wetlands. And so we have deer, possums, raccoons, yes, skunks, although I haven't seen one. I've only smelled them. A lot of birds. The occasional red-striped garter snake. They like to live in my pond's pampa box. Well, I hope it comes out all right, Barbara. Yeah, it's one of my favorite places about this house. And I've already discussed with my husband, should we ever move, I'm going to want to, I'm that lady that's going to feed the deer. And, I want like a deer sanctuary or something. Which is really funny because I gave my parents like a hard time for like decades about living in the middle of nowhere. My dad is from San Francisco. My mom is from Chicago. They are not small town people. And yet, as they've gotten older, they've lived farther and farther out into the middle of nowhere. And I didn't understand it for a long time until now I'm getting older. And now I'm like, I get it now. All right, so let's get our paints out again. And let's see about, I even have glue boogers on my phone. You guys, I have glue boogers everywhere. Okay, let's find another sky picture to do. But I promise I'll load a bunch of sky pictures to the Facebook groups for you all. And you can use them. Oh, let's do this one I took last night. You can use them as you will to make art with, or download the pictures directly, or whatever you want to do. So this is that same blue I mixed up before, where I took the sort of periwinkle color and the darker blue and mixed them together. I agree with you, Kathy. We're not super far from Portland, but we are surrounded by lots of the protected Oregon wildlife and wetlands. And we are down the street from a nature preserve, like literally. I think if I had to be in the city right now, or if I was still in California, I'd like be going crazy. Like at least where I lived in California. Barbara lives in a, I think, much better place in California than I do, or did. I lived in San Jose, it's a city of approximately 2 million people. And it's a city. It's not the best place to be right now. Okay, I'm going to cover most of that background with that blue. I'm going to darken up parts of it, inspired by the picture I took. Okay, take my brush and rinse some of that paint off. I'll check the chat in just a second, ladies. Hang on. Okay. Dryer. Okay. Hi, Jaslyn. Hello. How are you? Welcome. Okay, so now, oh, Ellie. Hello, Ellie. Good morning. Is it still morning? Yeah, it's still morning because I don't even know anymore. Welcome to Corona. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Well, and welcome. So I'm going to mix a little bit of the orange that was here on my little mini palette with the pink that I just grabbed. And we are going to put some of that. It might not be dark enough. I might need to add some white to it. I am always available via the Facebook groups or social media. If you guys have questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to ask. I like to think of us as a caring, kind community. So if you need help with something, definitely say so. If you have a question, especially an art question, there's lots of us out here who will help. Thank you. I already did one already. You can scroll back to the recording later on the YouTube channel. I got what you meant. Typos. The story of my life. I've been fascinated right now with doing sort of skyscapes, and I think I'm going to end up doing probably a series of paintings. I do typos all the time, just FYI. It's like standard operating procedure. Yeah, so the only problem with our woods are that we don't own them. So I have no control over whether they maintain it or not. So once a year, I have to have sort of a running argument with the school district who is supposed to be maintaining said trees, and try to get them out here to look at them and make sure things are being maintained. And that, any dead trees are being taken care of, and it's like a thing. Ellie, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Yeah, so we've always joked since we bought the house, semi-seriously joking, if that property ever came up for sale, we'd buy it so that we had more control. Wait, you said dang, really? And I was not sure what you were talking about, Ellie. So for those of you who are just joining, I'm using the Himi gouache that I bought about a month ago. I haven't added water to them or anything. This is, they're still wet. Yeah, Ellie. Anyway. Pick something simple, maybe semi-abstract if you don't like doing realism, and just do a few paintings, do a little drawing, turn on the music, turn off the social media. It's very meditative, and I think it helps. All right, I'm going to dry that because I like the way that's looking. Eli. Thank you. Yes, Eli. Trust me, I mess up a lot. Look how I got Eli's name wrong. Didn't mean to offend, sorry. Okay. So then the question is, do I want to add any trees or do I want to just leave it? The last time I did this, I added a few trees. I might want to add a couple trees. I'm going to grab some of the dark Prussian blue. Yeah, I watch a lot of vlog channels and like homesteading channels. Don't ask me why. I also like the Hoof GP, and I am not a farmer by any stretch. Anyway, I made a comment on My Little Homestead's channel where they made a video where they made Christmas stockings. And I said, you know, they were making a particular style of stocking and they were having trouble turning out the toe of the stocking. I said, grab it. In my comment, I said, use a knitting needle. It'll work great. Well, then they did a live podcast a few days later. And the way they pronounced my name on my channel that I watch YouTube was, I found it hilarious. They totally butchered it, but it was funny as all get out. So yeah. Eli's coming behind your heart, girl. Never heard that one, but sounds funny. So I'm going to just take my brush and I'm going to just draw a line for the trunk, barely touching the paper. And then I'm going to take that kind of crazy messed up filbert. And I'm going to put, okay, no problem. Anyway, as I was saying, we are a community of, you know, hopefully caring, kind individuals. And if you need help, you know, if you're stressing out or you have an art issue, just let us know. Yeah, so let's see. So this filbert brush I'm using is really old, really messed up, kind of past it. The bristles are like splayed out like everywhere. And to be honest, it makes perfect like suggestions of tree branches. Like this is a great brush. I'll probably put this brush in with my gouache stuff because it's perfect. Yeah, so barely touch your brush to the paper. As I used to tell my painting in-person painting students, no, you know, jabbing the brush down to China to, you know, make the line. Just barely touch the paper, start at the bottom on the tape and pull it up and lift as you come up, and you'll get a nice thin straight line and the top will be nicely pointed and you'll get this really nice suggestion of trees. And then once you have something that you like, and then you can just take the tape off. And the nice thing about taking the tape, using the tape, is that you get this nice straight line, but you still have the suggestion of the torn edge paper. I don't know, there's something about the combination of that I really love. There we go. Well, My Little Homestead, if you go back to their last podcast that they just aired a couple of days ago, the first thing they talk about is my comment with the knitting needle. And I have a channel that I broadcast on this one, Gina Ahrens, and then I have one that just says my initials, GB Ahrens. And the way they pronounced that, it's funny. You have my permission to laugh at it because it is hilarious. It was really great. Anyway, so then you just have this little painting, and having a bunch of little paintings like this is really great because you can they're simple, they're quick, they're easy. You can put them you could do a bunch of them and put them in Christmas cards. They could be gifts for somebody. How great would that be? I would love to get a bunch of little gifts like this. I could put them in my journals or just put them in a book. You can use them in your journals as we did in this page earlier. When we did this one, I would always, at the very least, sign it. but I like the idea of like going out. This is just a Bic ballpoint pen, Bic crystal ballpoint pen, nothing spectacular. I have 2 Facebook groups for those that are new and don't know where you can join. I will be posting inspiration pictures of skyscapes to those groups later. I would love to see you guys create some paintings from them or use them in your journals or in your cards and share. You could totally frame it on the wall, Eli, totally. And I started thinking about these skyscapes a few days ago because I pulled a bunch of different sizes of canvases out. And I think that after the new year, I'm probably going to end up doing a series of paintings in different sizes that are all skyscapes. I don't really have room in my house to hang them all together as a collection on a wall, but I think they would be really great hanging on together as a collection. And I will probably be doing that. Here it's 11:17 a.m. Where are you in the world, Eli? Yeah, so this is just mixed media paper, so it's a little bit warped as I'm painting on it, but you can use, this is just what I had that was easy to grab. You can use watercolor paper. I wouldn't use anything thinner than mixed media paper if you're painting because I think it's going to work against you. Yeah, I'm in Oregon. Just FYI. West Coast, Pacific Northwest. There's something about the combination of the torn edges with the straight lines from the tape and then the pen marks. It just gives you, I don't know, there's just something about it that I really like. So I just wanted to give you guys a couple of quick ideas of some things that you could do to work through craziness, to do art, to, you know. Let's see. I gotta zoom out. Hold on. There we go. So there, I guess you can kind of see the picture I was working from. I have a lot of these photos. It's very desaturated on camera here right now. So you can totally send something to me and I accept Happy Mail. If you look in the video description after this goes live, there is a P.O. box that you can send things to. And I go check that on a weekly basis. So these are the things that we did today. And I'll be doing a bunch more of these because I think I really want to do a whole bunch of these. And I don't know what I'm going to do with them all, but yeah, I'm going to do a whole bunch of them. And these Himi gouache, by the way, as I'm using them, I am really enjoying them. They are a nice flat matte gouache paint. They're staying very wet. This is been open like this for more than a month and they're not dry at all. These down here are a little bit like I've got a little bit of a crust. Yes, that's the right one. And so I'm very happy with them. That being said, I did purposefully take a few of them out and put them into a little palette, a different one that's on the other side of the room right now. And I let them dry out. They do also reconstitute fabulously. So if they do dry, you just spray them with water and let them sit for a little bit. Yeah, so you totally could do that. And you could do some of these. And then what you could do on the trees, get some of the white or a white gel pen and do little dots of white snow on the trees and make them look Christmassy. They would make great holiday cards. And you can get holiday cards that are made out of watercolor paper, and they come with an envelope like in a pack. And then you can just paint right on the card. Hey, Aunt Beck, how are your curtains coming? She's been making curtains. I saw your post. I wish we lived closer. I'd help you. Making curtains isn't hard, but it's a big job. So yeah, see, the other thing I wanted to talk about today, and I'll be making a post about this in the 2 art groups later. What channels are you all watching right now on YouTube that maybe are non-art channels that really are if not inspirational for you, that are relaxing and soothing to watch? So I like to watch My Little Homestead, The Hoof GP, Dana Creates, and there's one more, a vlog channel, Gabe Babe TV. That's a family vlog channel. And there's actually one more that I can't think of at the moment, but I'll be looking up later and making a list. And if you guys want to, under that post, you want to comment what your favorite channels are. They don't have to be art channels, just channels that you find interesting. Yeah, there's also one called Doing It Ourselves, I think, and it's about a family that bought a literally ancient estate in France, and the family, I think, is from England, and they've been restoring the estate themselves, and the whole family moved there, mom and dad, all the kids' spouses. I'm probably going to end this in a bit. It's almost lunchtime. I need to go eat, Eli, but it'll be live. And I'm live every single Tuesday at 10 a.m. And if I forget, one of y'all private message me if it gets to be 9:30 and I haven't said anything. Somebody feel free to remind me. Lisa, I know you and I are connected on Facebook along with a few others of you. So feel free to remind me, hey, it's Tuesday, 9:30. Are you getting ready for the live? Because I did forget once. Yeah. So, but we're going to be posting the list of that because I think that's the other thing. Besides encouraging everybody to do some art and creativity to get through what's going on right now, especially, but also to make it a daily, regular habit. I think we should share maybe creative ways we're using supplies we already own, or that reminds me. So DIY, cheap, inexpensive. I had to go to the hardware store the other day with the husband because we had to pick up a couple things. We didn't have a choice. I picked up some paint swatch booklets while I was there. I pulled the swatches off with a razor blade, and then I used some Xyron paper to make them into stickers that I'll be using and have been using in my journals. So different ways you can do different things. And channels that we're finding that are, comforting. So I think we need to share more of that with each other. Yeah, I know what guy you're talking about, Kathy. I know exactly what guy you're talking about. Yeah, so stickers from the paint store. And for whatever reason, I've just been fascinated with just swatches of color. Now, of course, you could make these. You could paint some paper and then cut it up into squares and all that. But, if you have to go to the store anyway because you need light bulbs, or, the hardware store is an essential place right now. And you just can't always avoid going out. But if you have to go, pick up a few paint swatch booklets, go for the big booklets, and then you can pull the swatches off with a razor blade. I have one of these razor blade scraper things, and it pulls the swatches off very easily. Now, do they all come off cleanly? No. You can see this one didn't. But most of them do. And I only picked up a couple of booklets, and I have there's a lot of them. Oh, good luck with that. Again, I wish I was closer. I would help you because Curtains are a big deal. They're not hard. They're just big. All right. I think that's it for today, everybody. I hope it gives you some ideas of what you can do with your art. Welcome to all you new people who are here watching. And if you want to keep in contact and share with me what you're doing, I do have 2 Facebook art groups. And you can always follow me on Instagram and all that stuff. My Linktree list of links is in the video description. So check it out. If you want to send Happy Mail, my address is also in the video description, along with ways to support my the free content here on YouTube and over in the Facebook art groups by shopping in the Etsy store or joining Patreon or something. So check all of that out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I also hate pressing. Fun fact, I'm a former seamstress. I hate pressing. I hate ironing. My husband's great at it, so I try to get him to do the ironing. All right. And keep in mind, all those channels that you're sharing right now, I'm going to post in a little bit a list of channels that I'm watching, that some of which are not at all art related. And I'm just fascinated by them right now. So they don't have to be art related, but let's share and give everybody some idea of some other things that they could watch or do. All right, that's it for today, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay creative. Please wear your mask and go out and do something nice for yourself, because you deserve it. If you're not in my art groups and you want to share a list of names with me, then you can maybe email me. My email should be in the video description. If you would like to join the Facebook art groups, then, you know, the links are down there. All right, guys, I will see you 10 a.m. next week. We're on from 10 a.m. to just about 11:30 every single week. I do go on a few minutes early almost every time, and I usually put the link to the patrons first, just FYI. All right, guys, see you later. Bye.